G'day viewers and welcome to this episode of PB's Retro Restorations. If this is your first time here, I'd like to say thank you for taking a punt on my channel. It's much appreciated. I hope you like what you find here. And to my regular viewers, a big thank you for sticking with me. I truly value your support. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you on board as a close personal friend of PB. The Bentley Continental was released in 1961 and was in the Corgi range until the end of 1966. Having so many features made for an expensive toy, almost 3 times the price of the console and Vanguard featured on the same page of the catalogue. Adjusted for inflation in 2024, they seem cheap now, but that was no doubt some serious brass for a kid in the 60s. Mind you, it was a time where you got a new car twice a year, on your birthday and Christmas, and that was it. Of course, the Corgi Club recently reissued the Bentley in green. Of course, it's not the same casting. Anyway, only released in 2 colour schemes, first black and then green. Mine is a black one underneath all that awful brown paint. With all that waffle out of the way, this is another long video, so I appreciate you putting up with them, although I suppose you can always skip to the end if that's your jam. But anyway, me waffling isn't going to make it go by any quicker, so let's get crack-a-lackin' on this Bentley Classic and see if we can't turn it around. Oh, it's springs. Tiny springs. How cool is that? We do not want to lose them. These come out. I think they will. Oh, this is held on from the... That old grill's plastic. Okay, I'll tackle that in a minute. Oh, the rear one's metal. Okay. Interior is a little bit bent out of shape. Oh, I don't have to. Glass has got a crack in it, but that's okay. I'd rather an original slightly cracked one than a crap reproduction one. The boot lid. Does it come out or what? Oh, yep, it does. Just got to be gentle with it. See that black paint? VXL 203. There's a teeny bit left of this one, viewers. Which is good because now I can get a measurement on my verniers and measure it. That's good. Now, how do we do this without completely destroying it? Alright. Is it metal? It is metal. I don't know why I thought it was plastic. It just looked plastic. Oh God, okay. There we go. Now I know you're waiting for me to put this poker right through my finger like an idiot. Well, sorry to disappoint you, it didn't happen this time, and I changed my tactic before it did. Got the buckets but not the jewels. That's okay, the buckets come in handy. One of these days I'll make one of those little metal things that Paul Restorer sticks over the axle so he doesn't destroy the hubs. One day, so it's been 4 years, I'm sure that day's coming. When I first started work on this, I was still slumming it with the electric toothbrush, and then, you know, I've told you I've got an ultrasonic cleaner, so I did give all these another clean in the ultrasonic cleaner, which I've had nothing but success with. It's been great. My initial plan with the bumper, the front and rear bumper and grille and everything, was to polish them back up, and I did start cleaning them up, but I ended up going a different method, which I'll show you later. I didn't notice at first, but I used caustic soda to take the paint off this one, and I mustn't have cleaned it off properly, or you see that powdery residue. I am using a mask, viewers, and you should always use a mask too. And I thought, oh, it's damaged the metal, as you'll see later, but when I looked at other earlier shots of it, it looked like it already had the damage there, so I'm not sure if I did it, or the caustic soda did it, but I do know who fixed it. It was me. As I said, my plan was to polish these back up, but it soon became apparent that most of the plating had just worn off it, and there was no amount of polishing was going to make it shine like chrome again, and me hitting it with the wire wheel probably took what was left of the plating off it. So I'll show you what I did. I already promised you I'd show you what I did, but I will, I promise. Overnight in a zip bag with some oven cleaner has taken care of all that paint residue that was on the plastic piece. Just going to wash it off, dry it off, and then sand it back into looking human. Like I said, it's got that big crack through the window, but I would rather have a cracked original than, you know, a reproduction that's twice as thick and looks funny. So you might disagree. If I had the means to make my own windows, I would, but anyway. This is Auto Sol aluminium polish. I just put a little bit on. I probably put too much on all over it. And then I've got a little cloth polishing wheel on the end of my Dremel / Ryobi. I've sped the film up, so if it sounds like it's going a million mile RPM, it's not. I've turned it right down. You obviously don't want to lean into it too hard. You'll start melting the plastic, and of course we don't want that, do we, viewers? No. I've had to modify my will to include my bottle of floor polish to leave to my son because it's never going to run out. Here I am spraying the base. I've taken to using Mr. Hobby aircraft grey for Corgi bases. I took Corgi Bob's tip and just sprayed them primer and then clear coated them, but it wasn't getting a real nice finish. And I thought this aircraft grey is pretty close. So I've used a Tamiya Rattle Pack primer underneath. Now I'm using that same aircraft grey that I used for the base on the sides. I'm trying the tactic this time of spraying, because it's a two-tone body originally, spraying the whole thing, the grey part, because I figured that'll be easier to mask off and spray the black over the top than the other way around. And I was proven right. It had a little bit of a crooked line which I attempted to fix. You'll see me do that later. But this is the first time I painted it. This is one of those occasions where, you guessed it, I've did it twice. Alright, so here it is. Looking terrible. See those marks around the mud guards? Like I said, I'm not sure what caused it, but here it is, stripped back again. And the master craftsman, that's me, trying to sand and polish and buff all those marks out. And to Peter's credit, he did a pretty good job, didn't you, Peter? Yes, I did. Got most of them out. I'm trying to have a little bit of a shift in me thinking. Sometimes I rush these and I think, oh, you've got to get it done, and once you've done it, you don't want to do it again. And then I have to remind myself that there's no time pressure here. Like, better to do it and do it properly and have a nice result. Here's my design for the tail lamps. I've designed these to accept a 2mm little jewel that I found in a bag at the dollar shop here. You might know it as the pound shop in England. So I'll show you that a bit later. Now I also made a file for the horn that goes on the bumper because there's supposed to be two of them. One of them's missing, you may have noticed. And I won't lie, viewers, it caused me a mental block printing the horn out. And, well, I'll show you what I did in the end. But here I am with the 3D printed taillights. They're tiny. They always look tiny after you've been staring at them on a big monitor designing them. So I sprayed them black, and here I am just monochroming over the top. You'll note here that the gloss black I used didn't come out real gloss. Definitely black, but not real gloss. I'm not sure if it's the weather or the humidity. I don't know. But I gloss coated it, and after that dried, I gave it a sand and gave another gloss coat after that. And it came out pretty shiny in the end. As I said earlier in the video, one of the little horns was missing off the bumper, and I let it be a mental block in my head for so long. It also had a slight bend in it, so here I am heating it up in some boiling water and tweaking it back so it's straight, and then we'll move on from there. So the two-tone was largely a success, except for this tiny little bit you can see my thumb on here. Just trying to sand it back. I thought, oh, I'm not going to strip it and do it all again just to get the same result. I'll try and neaten it up. So I sanded it a bit, and I tried touching it up with a brush. You'll see it on the turntable. I didn't completely eliminate it, but on a whole, for effort involved, I'm pleased with it. So in the end, I thought the best way to make it match is not to 3D print a replacement, but to cut the other one off. And you might think it's cheaping out, and it probably is, but no, I just want to keep the project moving, not sweat the smaller things so much. I could have stuck the 3D printed one on and it wouldn't have matched, and so anyway, I cut it off. I sprayed them both black and I monochrome them both to give them that really nice shine to them, and I'm pleased with the results. Before I do all that though, I'm going to treat them all to another round in the ultrasonic cleaner. Just get all those little suspension parts as clean as I can. The axle wouldn't fit in there, so I let it go. As clean as I thought they were, they always come out a little bit cleaner after they've been through the ultrasonic cleaner. So I had such a delay in this project because the bumper was, I couldn't get around it, and the body sat there for so long getting dusty that it needed to wash, and I gave another wet sand, and then I gave another coat of clear. It might be why it's so shiny. So here's all our pieces, and there are a ton of them. I can see why this was the most expensive passenger car in the Corgi range when it was new. There's plenty of parts, and plenty of parts means, of course, getting them wrong. Something ain't right. So the plastic interior had a little bit of a bow in it, and I thought I'll put a little bit of glue on it and sort of glue it to the glass piece just to straighten it out, and I think it worked okay. Installing the 3D printed parts went well. I neglected to film myself putting the little gems in them, which you'll see them when I paint them. And they went in what good. I didn't have to try them again and try them again, and I'm not going to lie, these are the first ones I printed and they worked, so that was a win. Even if the jeweled lights have been popped out, I'm so glad the buckets were still there, because I've had some less than stellar attempts at reproducing the buckets before I got a 3D printer. So that's good, because I've bought some little gems. I've had these in a jar for ages. These aren't dollar shop ones. These are ones I got from a Corgi restorer some time ago. I bought them in a bag for my Aston Martin build. That was a while ago. It's a little dab of white glue and pop them in. They fit well. So a cotton bud dipped in some Tamiya Red Clear, and just going to dab them onto those jewels. Helps keep it neat and just puts a dot on. You don't have to try and paint it with a paintbrush. That'll be next to impossible. This did have a set of tyres on it when I bought it. They were black ones, but as you can see, I've put my hand in my pocket and indulged myself in a replacement set of the proper grey tyres that it should have. Suspect the previous owner must have put a new set of tyres on it. And at any rate, that's not right. What am I missing, viewers? Okay, I think I worked it out, viewers. Once again, it's because I'm stupid. I had them on upside down. Yes, they'll only go on one side, but they can go upside down. therefore making the bar lower and not hitting the frame. What an idiot. I even watched a video of me pulling it apart and I still couldn't get it. Let's see how we go now. Oh. I don't know how I get on, viewers, I really don't. It's all the time. It wouldn't be a PB video if I didn't do something stupid, and this video is no exception. Check this out. Oh, you mongrel. Oh, you idiot. There it is. My poor old brain, viewers. Somehow I managed to get a little bit of black paint on the chassis. I don't know when or how or why, but I just touched over it a little bit. And I figured because it had a set of license plates on it before I stripped it, I'd put a set back on it. I didn't put the same combination on it because I didn't have a matching combination. But these I got from Black Square again. And they're really nice decals. And I also have to give a shout out to Black Square because I just ordered some other decals on Monday from the UK. I'm in Australia. They turned up today. Mrs. PB brought them home. Like, how's that? It's not hard, is it? So I restored an image for the box again. I am still working on that instructional video. This is the first one I made. I didn't cut it properly. I'm still learning and it didn't quite line up. It was no good, and when I got it all stuck together it looked awful, so I threw it out and I printed another one out and did it again. It's still not super perfect, you know, but it's good. I'm happy with it. You have to have another go at that one. Oh, spoiler alert. You can see that number 6 Ford truck box there. That's the one I'm making for the instructional video. So remember to put on your best surprise face when it comes out. Alright, and just like that, as if by magic, with absolutely no grief whatsoever, we're done. The box has got two different pictures on it, so I'll just flip it over. We are done. So here we are with my eBay purchased Bentley Continental. Looking worse for wear, but actually in really sound condition. The bumpers were there, even though the front one was twisted and missing a little bit. They weren't snapped off at the ends. Even the little the badge on top of the grill isn't too bad. I think the wings are supposed to be a bit bigger. Missing its dual headlights, bit of paint all over. It's been treated to several paint jobs in its lifetime, and a set of replacement incorrect tyres. Anyway, it was a solid base to start with. This is what we started with. By we I mean I, and this is what we're left with now. Ta-da! Looking $1 million now with its fresh two-tone paint, new set of grey tyres, a 3D printed rear replacement taillights. Of course they're rear, I always say that, what an idiot. Some new license plates, re-chromed bumpers. Looking really good. The original glass, not perfect, but it's clean and free of the paint, polished up. The crack is, it's there. New jeweled headlights. I'm pretty pleased with how this came out. You'll see as it comes around that little bit of a blemish between the two tones. Not perfect, but I don't think the originals were either. That's what I'm going to blame it on anyway. Alright, well I hope you've enjoyed this one, viewers. I enjoyed doing it, eventually. Don't forget the PB's Retro Restorations 4th birthday community build, diecast, bottle kit, cocktail sticks, any brand, it doesn't matter. June's ages away, plenty of time to get involved, have fun, and maybe win a substandard prize. While I'm here, I'll mention that the fundraising challenge has ended. We had the finale with all the dancing last Saturday night. Reedy ended up raising just over $100,000 on his own, and overall Women's Legal Service Queensland raised over $1.3 million. A couple of people raised, or one person raised $500,000 on their own. Super impressive. Thank you everybody who donated, and we'll do it all again next time. Thanks for watching to the end. If you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Check out some of my other videos and maybe consider subscribing. That'd be awesome, and it would help to keep me in the fabulous lifestyle to which I've become accustomed to. Honest. Have a great weekend, a safe weekend. Get those Corvette pictures into me, viewers, and I hope to see you all next time here on PB's Retro Restorations. Bye!